Hello, hi, I'm Patricia McNeely. I am an illumined Blu-ray twin flame from Chicago, Illinois. I hope you're doing well today. I know a lot of us are very tired of the eclipse sandwich that we've been in here, and the energy has been intense. And in a few days, it is going to be the equinox. And again, it's one of these leveling off periods. Light and dark, equality, balancing of masculine and feminine, and the changing of seasons, and the two hemispheres, doing this. There's been a lot going on. Some of it is so quick and sudden, it's very difficult to discern exactly what it is. Today, I'm here to talk to you about my next webinar, which is a live one. Now, I've only done one other live one, and it was very successful. I feel it helped everyone who participated in it, and it was participation. It was a very lively question and answer, and people were able to hear perspectives from other people. So that's what I'm doing again, and this one is called Universal Divorce, Breaking Up and Away. Up and away. That's the idea here. And this is breakups with everything. And let me ask you something. Have you felt weepy? For no apparent reason, and it just seems to come up, and it's so tight around your chest, and it just wants to leak out. And maybe you don't want to cry, and yet it still needs to get out. That's the feel of it. You could feel like your ankles are held in place. You could feel like there's a rod through your foot. You can feel foot pain, toe pain, pain around the solar plexus, pain along the spine, headaches as though you're being pressed, and some of it is very strange indeed. Even more so than that have been the sensitivities with people, even people around us that we love, even the most well-intentioned people. We're all very sensitive. The calluses are off. And yet we're still refining, and there are still things that need adjusting. So what this webinar is intended for is to guide you and lead you through something where there is an attunement, almost like when you strum a guitar and the guitar on the other end starts to vibrate. There's an attunement, there's a harmony. You are here bringing harmony. You're not bringing the fifth dimension. You're bringing in the harmonics of the fifth dimension so that you can continue. You're going with your one and only true love. So there's a couple of things I'd like to clear up right now. Number one, if you've been feeling like you're at a stop, things will go moving forward. We've also been in a retrograde. The retrograde is for review. It's even for rest and recuperation for people who have done a lot. This particular Mercury retrograde, especially for Blu-rays, this is your R&R. This is your rest and recuperation period. It's going to start to go forward again. This is also your opportunity to go back and redo or do the things that haven't been attended to, that you haven't addressed. And it could be very simple things, maybe things your children need, maybe something new you need, maybe some organizational thing that you need to do, some kind of purging. It could be something in your life or something of your body. For a lot of you, it will be your body from the cosmic levels. And that also is what I talk about in here, talking about the children and future children as well, who, let's face it, get birth through somebody's body. They do. It's still going to be that way. Breaking up is hard to do unless you use your light body, not your mind. This isn't a mind thing. You can't think about it. You have to use the body, and you have to do things to clear. And for some of you, it's like your twin has come up to you and said, here's all our stuff, here's our things that we treasure and value. But you disentangle it. Look, it's all tangled. You disentangle it. And you're saying, disentangle it? Disentangle that? Yeah, okay, I guess I'm going to have to. That's what I mean by your light body. These are things that have been wrapped around or twisted or embedded in you. They're usually not something that is, smashed into you. There have been things that have happened throughout history. The majority of things have been set behind the karmic closed doors. Another concept that seems to be floating about is that if you clear up things like this and you clear it for your twin, you're just simply making them light and lovely enough to continue with something. Wrong. The soulmate is the karma. The old things are the karma. When you disentangle this stuff, you remove the things that are holding them into place. It reminds me of this old TV show where one of the teenagers, the oldest boy, he had bought a car and he had recruited his brothers and sisters into sanding it. And he goes over to his younger brother and says, "Keep sanding the rust spots." And the younger brother says, "The rust is the only thing holding it together." That's what's going on with soulmates and karmic partners, friends with benefits, old job situations, old living situations, etc., etc. The other thing that I'm going to talk about, because in order to break away and be who you came here to be and properly maintain yourself, because that's a misconcept too, that somehow, it's not that you cannot win the lottery. However, you're here to create. Ooh, what would you like to have? What would you like to do where it doesn't feel like work? What is you? The best of you. What is that? And some of you don't know. You can feel it simmering. You know why? Because you're twin. Your twin's in there purring like a cat inside your heart. Drrr, drrr. They're purring, okay? But you can't quite discern, what is it? Where do I go? How do I do it? What moves do I make? What actions do I take? Using your own God-given light to find the best of you. Also, removing the negatives. This is a big part of what will happen. All of the old and the new. And sometimes there's negative to new things also, or what's considered new. I once knew a man who would say, "My mind is a dark place where I go to process my negatives." Well, he was referring to, of course, old style film. How do you get the film reel out of the head? How do you do that? I have ways to do that. I really do. There is a way to clear out the parts of you that is holding all of these old scenes that you've seen. All of the scenes that keep getting repeated over and over, where it'll feel like the same soulmate. Oh, and you go, didn't I date this person? Or that person's just like the last three people. Or haven't I had this job before? I've had the same boss. Or my goodness, this person, they're just... And you wind up feeling like you are on that gerbil wheel. And we want you to break up. We want you to do not just the physical divorces, but all of the aspect of what does divorce mean, where you are literally detaching compassionately and divorcing yourself from people, places, things, situations forever. Universal divorce. Because when you are with your twin, or if you're with your twin already, and there's a lot of people who've come together with their twin, you may still be removing the negatives, even while living together. A lot of people are doing that, some of them very admirably. How do you get things to flow down from the higher levels rather than scraping the bottom of the barrel? Okay? This scraping the bottom of the barrel, even if it's the most delicious cake. Like, I remember my mom, around the holidays, she would do a lot of baking. And we weren't allowed to touch any of the finished baked bakery, like none of the cookies, none of the cakes, but she would give us the bowl to lick. And some of you know what I'm talking about. The scraping the bottom of the bowl. Just, please can I have another taste? Please can I have another taste? You want a taste of that sweetness, and yet it's eluding you. You're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Even if your soulmates seem to get lighter and lovelier, you know why? Because you're lighter and lovelier. You're attracting more of the light that you are. You are using your own God-given light. So when does the point come when you say, I really got to be who I came here to be, because everything's putting the brakes on. You know, I'm at a standstill here. I'm having the same old scenes. It's not funny anymore. It's not good. I don't know. I got to figure it out. So, got some good news here for you. In order for this to be live, I am doing this in 3 time zones over the world. I'm going to have Europe, okay, lots of European countries. If you do not see your flag, please do not be offended. I know you exist, but these cards only had so many flags. There's even Vatican City flag on here, which there's the flag of Macedonia somewhere. Sorry, I think something got turned around here. Poland, Malta, Monaco. And we've got Spain, Montenegro, Albania, Czech, Slovakia, Serbia. Now, many countries are represented here in my city. And we've got Ukraine, Armenia, Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova. We have good friends who are from Moldova here. And, of course, this one. You know who you are. I know who you are. And we've got Netherlands. Many fine people. Many people ready to just, you know, be who they came here to be. But you want it done properly. You want it done appropriately, where things are in their appropriate place to your union. You want all things that belong to you returned to you, returning the things to you. So there is a time zone for Europe. There will be a time zone for North and South America, because we're on the same time zones for the most part. And I'm sorry, I don't have a flag for Australia. Australia, Oceania, India, and other parts of Asia, which would be Vietnam, Indonesia, Korea, Thailand, Japan. I know I'm kind of glossing over. I'm just saying Southeast Asia and the ocean there. There's many island ocean nations. I can't name all of them, but I did do this. I've got the map to kind of show you how I'm doing this. Okay. So, the webinar I'm planning to block into 3 zones, which will be on my website. So if you're interested in joining, please go to my website. The particulars will be there for which time zone I'm doing this in. So there will be North and South America. There will be Europe and Africa. And there will be Asia and Australia, which does include India. There's parts of the world I haven't really spoken to. And let me tell you, it's been a fabulous part of what I do. I have enjoyed meeting so many people from all over the world, even from right here at home, right near where I live, but really all over the world. Something I haven't talked about is how twin flame couples are strategically placed where they need to be. I haven't really talked about that in detail. But you are a stabilizing force. You're part of what keeps things from really going awry, from too many planetary cataclysms. And I understand. Earthquakes happen, floods happen, volcanoes happen, typhoons happen, hurricanes happen, lots of things happen. Even here, we've had storms of what we would call biblical proportions here, and they've been bad. Not every place has the infrastructure to recover from these. So there is a plan here, okay, where people happen to be located. Now, I'm going to take this down because I want to kind of go over with you why are we coming up to this point? Okay? Why are we coming up to this point? Because there are a fair number of people who are still hitting their own glass ceiling. You know, they're there and they're hitting it. Or they're like this and they don't know what to do. So, I have a little diorama here to help me illustrate this. Okay? Okay. So you've got by the way, one of the things that got returned to me was some Dell clothing. This is from some things that my brother found it, and he was like, oh, hey, I think this is yours. So rather than a swimsuit, she's wearing her dress. But, oh my goodness, look what she's got. She's still got herself, everything is connected to her root chakra. Whoops. It's connected to her root chakra. She even has a little guy here nipping. She thinks he's nipping at her tail. He's actually way over here. He's on the other end of the old grid that she is leaving. So here she is, and she's actually kind of upset with her twin. Let me bring you in real close for... Welcome to Twin Flame Theater. Or should we say Twin Flame Mystery Theater? Wait a minute, there's no mystery about this. All of the answers are within. Oh my God, that's such a cliche. All of the answers are within. They're in your light body. Wait a minute, you sound like Yoda. All right, well, Yoda had some wisdom, but I didn't understand how could he fight like the warrior and walk around with a cane then? That was I don't know. He transformed apparently. Okay, so that's some of what we've got going on here. We've got her twin. Okay? She thinks that he is holding all of their abundance and that he's holding her. And she doesn't realize that all of her crystals are connected to him. But he's so busy worrying about money, and he's got thoughts of some kind of reptile. There's some kind of reptile here, and it's just hanging over him. It's connected to this old grid. It's in his head. He watches too much of the news. His mind goes off onto these wild tangents, and he stopped believing in his own heart, and he's sort of staying here in his box. But guess what? This is her, I don't know, her higher self, her other, who is here, and she's behind the 5D veil, the crystal veil. okay? And the veil is going to open here in November like it always does. But it's already been opening for some people. You're seeing it part, you're going, you're elevating. And it's here. And the veil is going to move away, and they will get connected. Now, he is not holding her abundance. He is not holding her ability to travel. He's not. He's not holding her back. The mind is. And the root chakra. How do they get themselves unrooted from the mind and the root? How do they do that? It's time. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time for even the couples together. Get yourself unrooted, because everything else is going to continue to be a shocking drain, and you're going to find that things repeat themselves. You're also going to find that you have things where it's rather more easy to detach yourself from. All she has to do is detach the stuff. You know, she's just detaching stuff. Well, okay, so all she has to do is get rid of all the baggage that is dragging on her. And if you find that you too are feeling a heaviness around your hips, pains, dull aches, something poking you with a broom, sensations like this, that is the sacral. That is something that I do talk about in my previous webinar and this next webinar. She wants to be done. She wants to be who she came here to be. She is remembering that they have crystal light around them. They are the crystals, but you see, half of the crystals are connected to her other. So her other has, all along his spine, all of their connections. And so what else do we have here? All of the things that she needs to continue to be able to maintain herself properly, and both of them together. The etheric form of money, possibly no longer currency, because currency itself keeps changing and transforming. This is an energy. It fluctuates. It goes up and down. People speculate in it. People are corrupt with it. And how do you get connected to the higher grid that has all of your abundant flow up here? It's more refined. It's finer. It is something that is not intended to drag you down. It is refreshing. It is where work feels like not work. Might not feel like play at first, but it might feel like you are actually doing something you love to do. And this is her true self. Very prosperous looking. In fact, she's very, I got these clothes also. I had made these when I was 11, and so I thought this looked very holiday-ish. She, in fact, is embodying the spirit of the solstice in December, the celebration of the light. So, and the red passion. She's wearing her red coat of passion. So, she is most definitely up here helping. But for those people that haven't learned yet how to get still enough and stop worrying about the twin and continue pulling them out, pulling out the things of the mind that are attached to you and them, because see, it's not always what they're looking at or what they're doing. Whoops. It's not always what they're looking at or what they're doing. It is sometimes who has attached to you and how do you get rid of it. That in itself is what this webinar is mostly about. How are you going to detach yourself from the things that want to hang on to you? And especially if you're a Blu-ray, you're going to be feeling this. So, in order to be the successful, prosperous, in love person that you are, it requires being who you came here to be. And that is the light body. That is what is meant by that. It's not be the most kindest, generous person, because as a lot of you will find out, that can sometimes feel like a shocking drain, where everything is just dragging on you and your union, and you want to tell everyone, get off of me, get the you-know-what out. And that's not going to be necessary. There are ways and there are ways. So I'm just going to recap here. Let's put her back up where she belongs. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me and my props. For me, some of you know it's a lot of fun for me to put this together. I tend to go with information as I see it. This is how I see things in my night visions and why I depict them this way. But my information is good. As you know, I'm not an illustrator. I'm not a cartoonist or an animator. But I want to let you know that universal divorce is going to have quite a bit of what you need for this time going forward. I'm doing it after the equinox and connecting you so that you are flowing from the higher levels and not scraping the bottom here. We want people to be able to elevate, keep going, keep being in love. There are more people who will awaken. Some of those people may need who you are. The whole planet is going to lighten up. And things are shifting around. Some of us have had to, bring things into place. Not been easy. And really, be proud of yourself. You've been doing a fabulous job. But the key here is when you have a twin flame, that is another person on the planet who can affect you, no matter how someone says to you, let them go, and you say, well, I won't think of them. I'll let them do whatever they want. No. You help your twin get out of those karmic situations. That soulmate is the karma. That thing that they're doing, that addiction, that part where they're stuck, they need your help. And this is how you help them. Because even if you are divorced from things and you're saying, I'm footloose and fancy free, I've got wide open spaces, they can come in at any time. They are the other half of you. It's incumbent on you that you assist them in any ways that you can. A lot of people don't like to hear that, but that is the truth, especially since March of this year. That's when the door closed. The assistance, you've gotten put to another level where you're able to assist each other. Do it. You're the only one who will benefit. So if this sounds really interesting to you, and I promise you it will be good, find the information on my website to sign up for the time zone that you are located in. I want to make this accessible to as many people as possible so that you have an opportunity to ask some questions, get some answers, hear from other people, plus the materials that I have in the webinar. So thank you so much, as always, for listening. Please enjoy your week. It's going to be a pretty good time going forward for a lot of people. And for those of you who may think, well, I've been waiting and I'm still waiting, get yourself ready, because you're not going to be waiting much longer. Everything is moving forward. Mercury goes direct, and we're doing this. This is still on. Nothing is finished or done or anything. If anything is finished, it's whatever we're breaking away from. And that's a lot, because it's everything 3D. So thanks so much. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. If you like these updates, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Bye now.